Be me. 28-year-old female, always heard older women complain about men not helping anymore. Men used to be gentlemen, now they just walk past women in trouble. Assume this was just generational change, or men becoming lazier. Never really thought about why helpful behavior disappeared. Recently started paying attention to male behavior in public spaces. Notice men actively avoid situations where women might need assistance. Car broken down on roadside, multiple men drive past without stopping. Woman struggling with heavy bags, men pretend not to notice. Elevator doors closing on woman with packages, men don't hold them. Initially think this proves men are selfish and don't care about others. But start noticing something strange about their behavior. Men seem intentionally avoiding rather than naturally ignoring. Quick glances followed by deliberate looking away. Body language suggests awareness but conscious avoidance, like they want to help, but something stops them. Attend outdoor festival where woman trips and drops everything. Purse content scattered across ground. She's obviously struggling. Watch 3 different mesnen, notice situation, and keep walking. Finally, woman's female friend helps gather belongings. Later, overhear one of the men talking to his friend. Saw her fall, but didn't want to get accused of anything. These days, helping women is too risky. Start questioning what kind of risk he means. Sounds paranoid until I witness incident at shopping mall. Woman drops wallet, credit cards scatter everywhere. Man nearby starts to help collect them. Woman immediately becomes defensive and suspicious. What are you doing? Don't touch my stuff. Are you trying to steal my credit card information? Man backs away with hands up, clearly embarrassed. Just trying to help, sorry. Woman continues accusing him of having ulterior motives. Security guard approaches. Woman claims man was harassing her. Despite multiple witnesses seeing him only trying to help, man forced to give statement and provide identification. Over simple attempt to return, dropped wallet. Realize that helping women can be misinterpreted as threatening behavior. Visit university campus. Notice male students avoiding female interactions. Woman struggling to carry boxes upstairs to dorm. Several male students walk past without offering assistance. Ask one why he didn't help with obvious heavy lifting. Can't risk being alone with female student even briefly. Explains how male students get accused of inappropriate behavior. For normal, helpful interactions that would be fine with male students. Helping women is basically sexual harassment allegation waiting to happen. Campus policies treat any male-female interaction as potential assault. Men learn to avoid all contact rather than risk accusations. Attend family barbecue. Observe interactions between relatives. Notice male cousins don't offer help when female cousins struggle. Aunt asks nephew to help move furniture. He suggests asking his sister instead. Women are stronger and more independent now anyway. But I catch him helping male cousin with identical task later. Clearly capable and willing to help, just not women. Pull him aside to ask about differential treatment. Reluctantly explains that helping women creates liability. Aunt could claim I was too rough or made her uncomfortable. Then family would blame me for making holiday awkward. Describes walking on eggshells around female relatives. Any physical contact or proximity could be misinterpreted. Safer to avoid helping than risk family drama over misunderstanding. Visit car repair shop when my battery dies. Mechanic willing to help, but insists on specific protocols. Need to keep bay doors open and security camera running. Can't be alone with female customer for liability reasons. Explains how shop got sued by woman, claiming inappropriate touching. During routine engine inspection that required reaching across. Now, all interactions with female customers heavily documented. Used to help women with car trouble anywhere, too dangerous now. Mechanics won't do roadside assistance for women alone. Insurance doesn't cover assault allegations even when false. Start researching legal liability for Good Samaritan behavior. Discover that helping strangers creates potential civil and criminal exposure, especially when helper is male and recipient is female. Sexual harassment lawsuits from misinterpreted assistance, assault charges from accidental physical contact. theft accusations from handling someone's belongings. Good intentions provide no legal protection against false allegations. Attend community meeting about neighborhood safety. Woman complains about men not helping during emergency. My car broke down at night. Multiple men drove past. What happened to basic human decency and helping neighbors? Male neighbor explains why he didn't stop to assist. Single man approaching woman alone at night looks suspicious. Could be accused of stalking, harassment, or worse. Describes how helping puts men in vulnerable position. Woman's word automatically believed over male explanation. Social media amplifies accusations while ignoring context. Better safe than sorry when accusations can destroy lives. Woman becomes angry at explanation, calls men selfish. You're making excuses for not caring about women's safety. Refuses to acknowledge legitimate concerns about false allegations. Assumes male motivations are self-serving rather than self-protective. Visit college campus during move-in day. Watch female students struggling with heavy furniture and boxes. Male students walking past with obvious ability to help. Ask resident advisor about policy regarding cross-gender assistance. Male students should avoid female dorm rooms for safety reasons. Any complaints about inappropriate behavior result in immediate investigation. Male students learned that helping female classmates is career suicide. One accusation leads to expulsion and permanent record. Parents spend fortunes on education that can disappear over misunderstanding. Rational students avoid all risk by refusing to help. Attend church where community service is emphasized. Notice men volunteer for male-only activities exclusively. Women's ministry needs help with heavy lifting and setup. Plenty of capable men present, but none volunteer. Pastor quietly explains the policy shift over past decade. Had incidents where helpful behavior was misinterpreted. Now we separate activities by gender to avoid problems. Men still eager to serve community, just not with female recipients. Church leadership determined this reduces liability and conflict. Religious community acknowledging that male-female help creates problems. Even in sacred context, where service to others is fundamental value. Visit elderly neighbor who mentions loneliness and isolation. Young men used to help with yard work and heavy chores. Now I can't get anyone to assist with basic home maintenance. Explains how male neighbors stopped offering assistance. After woman down street accused helper of attempted break-in. Man was doing volunteer home repair through church program. Woman claimed he tried entering house inappropriately. Police investigation, neighborhood gossip, destroyed reputation. Volunteer programs for elderly now require extensive background checks. Many men no longer participate due to bureaucracy and liability. Elderly women suffer while men protect themselves from accusations. Observe interaction at grocery store parking lot. Elderly woman struggling to load heavy items into car. Young man notices but hesitates before offering help. Woman gratefully accepts assistance with groceries. But interaction is awkward and rushed. Man clearly uncomfortable despite woman's appreciation. Later, ask him about his hesitation to help. Never know how it will be interpreted or who's watching. Someone could film it and claim I was bothering her. Describes constant awareness of potential misinterpretation. Social media makes every interaction potential viral controversy. Men weigh risks of helping against benefits of staying uninvolved. Usually conclude that helping isn't worth potential consequences. Attend self-defense class where instructor discusses personal safety. Female students encouraged to be suspicious of male strangers. Men who approach you probably have ulterior motives. Be wary of offers to help. Could be predator behavior. Realize that women are trained to view male assistance as threatening, while simultaneously complaining that men don't help anymore. Contradictory messaging creates impossible situation for helpful men. Damned if they help, criticized if they don't. Rational response is avoiding female strangers entirely. Visit mechanic friend who explains changes in his business. Used to stop and help women with car trouble regularly. Now I drive past unless it's family member or close friend. Describes lawsuit from woman claiming he damaged her car during attempt to help with flat tire repair. Legal costs exceeded his annual income despite being innocent. Insurance company settled rather than fight false claim. Good deed cost me more than most people make in year. Now helps only people he knows well enough to trust. Strangers left to handle problems alone, regardless of capability. Speak with paramedic about emergency response protocols. Male EMTs avoid being alone with female patients when possible. Always request female partner for intimate medical procedures. Explains how medical professionals face accusations regularly. Patient claims inappropriate touching during routine care. Career destroyed while investigation proceeds. Even cleared professionals rarely recover reputation fully. Helping people is our job, but we have to protect ourselves first. Medical field implementing strict protocols to prevent allegations. Reducing quality of care to minimize legal exposure. Visit fire station during community open house. Firefighter explains changes in rescue protocols. Female victims get rescued by teams now, never individual males. Describes how lone male rescuer can be accused of assault during life-saving procedures requiring physical contact. Saving someone's life doesn't protect you from harassment charges. Fire department requires witnesses for all female interactions. Slows response time, but protects firefighters legally. Emergency services prioritizing liability over efficiency. Attend community college class about social changes. Professor discusses decline in pro-social behavior among men. Toxic masculinity prevents men from showing caring behavior. Patriarchal conditioning makes men selfish and unempathetic. Raise hand to share observations about liability concerns. Professor dismisses this as excuse for male antisocial behavior. Good men help regardless of consequences. Fear of false accusations is paranoid thinking. Academic framework cannot acknowledge legitimate male concerns. Must maintain narrative about toxic masculinity rather than examining evidence. Visit male relatives during family gathering. Uncle shares story about helping stranded motorist. Woman's car broke down during snowstorm, potentially dangerous situation. Stopped to offer assistance and call tow truck. Woman accused him of trying to force entry into vehicle. Police questioned him for hours about attempted assault. Charges eventually dropped, but reputation damaged permanently. Learned that no good deed goes unpunished. Family members now avoid helping female strangers. Only assist people they know personally and trust completely. Speak with insurance agent about liability coverage. Good Samaritan laws provide limited protection. Civil lawsuits can proceed regardless of criminal charges. Explains how helping strangers creates massive financial exposure. False accusations lead to expensive legal defense. Even winning lawsuits costs tens of thousands in attorney fees. Helping someone can bankrupt you through legal system. Insurance policies exclude coverage for harassment allegations. Men completely exposed financially when helping goes wrong. Rational people avoid activities that could destroy them financially. Observe neighborhood dynamics during summer months. Women working in yards often struggle with heavy tasks. Male neighbors visible but none offer assistance. Tasks that would take men minutes remain undone for hours. Finally, female neighbors collaborate to solve problems. Men clearly capable of helping, but choosing not to engage. Community cooperation exists only within gender boundaries. Mixed gender assistance disappeared due to liability concerns. Attend town hall meeting about community decline. Woman complains about lack of male participation in volunteer activities. Men used to help with community events and neighborhood projects. Now they only participate in male-only activities. Male resident explains liability concerns about working with women. Volunteer work with females requires legal protection we can't afford. Describes how community organizations lost male volunteers. After series of harassment allegations from female participants, men withdrew rather than risk accusations over volunteer service. Community suffers while men protect themselves legally. Visit college fraternity during alumni weekend. Older brothers sharing advice with current members. Never be alone with female student for any reason. Always have witnesses when interacting with women. Document all communications and interactions, treating female interactions like potential legal proceedings, rather than normal social or helping relationships. Fraternity culture shifted from traditional chivalry to defensive isolation. Men taught to avoid women rather than assist them. Speak with legal aid attorney about trend and false allegations. Harassment claims increased dramatically over past decade. Standard of evidence very low for civil proceedings. Accusation alone often sufficient for judgment against men. Explains how legal system incentivizes false claims. Settlements cheaper than fighting even frivolous lawsuits. Men guilty until proven innocent in court of public opinion. Smart men avoid situations where they can be accused. Legal profession acknowledging that helping women is dangerous. Attorneys advising male clients to minimize female contact. 6 months of investigation reveals systematic pattern. Men stopped helping women due to legitimate liability concerns. Not selfishness or lack of empathy, but rational risk assessment. Legal system and social attitudes make helping dangerous. False accusations destroy lives while offering no protection to helpers. Women created environment where male assistance is too risky. Then complain about loss of chivalrous behavior. Men adapted by withdrawing help rather than facing consequences. Learned that decline in male helpfulness is defensive response to hostile legal and social environment targeting helpful men. Women want protection of being helped without accountability for accusations. Men want safety of helping without risk of false allegations. Incompatible goals creating social breakdown and gender cooperation. Begin observing my own reactions to male strangers offering help. Notice automatic suspicion when men approach with assistance. What does he really want? Why is he being nice? Conditioning to view male helpfulness as potentially threatening. Realize I contribute to problem by being suspicious of genuine help. Men sense female distrust and learn to avoid helping entirely. Now understand why older generation mourns loss of gentlemanly behavior. Previous social contracts protected both helpers and recipients. Modern environment exposes helpers while protecting accusers. Rational men choose self-preservation over community service. Women eliminated male helpfulness through legal and social activism. Then wonder why men don't help anymore. Community cooperation died when helping became legally dangerous, especially across gender lines where accusations are automatically believed. Learned that chivalry didn't die naturally. It was systematically killed by legal framework that punishes good Samaritan behavior. Men still want to help, but can't afford the consequences. Women created problem they now complain about.